Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 8 of the Isle of Man Sport podcast. And we have with us today a local golfing superstar in professional golf, Mr. Tom Gandy. Tom, welcome. Thanks for coming in.
Hi, Trev. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Fantastic. And so, Tom, you're a professional golfer. How long have you been a professional for now?
September 2017 I turned, but 2018 was my first season.
Excellent, right, and we've got you hot off the back of a really fantastic season for you. Just tell us what's happened in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, last few weeks. So it was the qualifying process for the European Tour and the Challenge Tours included in that as well. So for me, that would be a European Tour would be 2 steps up, Challenge Tour 1 step up from the Europro, which I've been playing all year. And yeah, it went well. I had to start all the way at stage 1, 4 rounds of golf. Top 20 got through. I finished 3rd there, got through. Stage 2, another 4 rounds of golf. Again, top 20 got through, and I managed to finish 3rd there as well. But that was delayed because of weather. And then finally, stage 3, the big one was six rounds, cut after 4 rounds. And the top 25 at the end would get European Tour cards, and the top 70 make the cut, and they get full Challenge Tour status. So. Yeah, we made it all the way through, agonisingly close to a full European Tour card at the end, missing by 1 shot, but
crikey,
that's fine. We kind of ticked the box of what we wanted to do by making the cut, so yeah, really delighted to be a Challenge Tour player for next year.
Well done, mate. You know, it's great to see you progressing and you know, achieving the goals that you're setting out, and almost exceeding those goals as well. So you know, it must give you a lot of confidence going into the tour next year.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing really well, so you kind of almost think you might want to keep going, but it was I think I was away 28 days. I played golf 26 of those days. There's a lot of mental energy used in that time as well, and yeah, so I'm delighted to have a bit of a break, get home and build ready for next season, so I'm in the right place to hopefully improve.
Excellent. And what is the standard like? I mean, for me, you just told me there you've had 3 different stages where you've had to be on top of your game consistently for a long period of time. That can't be easy to maintain that sort of standard.
Yeah, I mean, the thing was the last stage in particular, I'd never played at that level. There was guys who, so at stage 1, it's a load of guys like myself who maybe didn't have status on either tour, and in stage 2, a load of guys from Challenge Tour come in, and then when you get to stage 3, there's a load of guys from the European Tour who have just missed their card to keep it for the next year, or the guys who've done really well at Challenge Tour, they all come into stage 3. You know, you got guys like myself who are coming through on good form. You've got guys who were in the top 45 on the Challenge Tour who've played their tour championship the week before, so they're on good form. Yeah. And then you've got guys who have been really good. Maybe there's a few guys who I grew up watching on television who, you know, in their mid-30s, 40s, who are maybe coming towards, not the twilight years, but you know what I mean, playing a bit more part-time. And they were there, so it was a load of big names there, and so the quality of the field was unbelievable. So it was great to be a part of, and great to compete in that, really. And
what was the size of the field? How many golfers are we talking about in that whole process?
In stage 3 there was 160, 150 something, and then at stage 1 about 100 at each venue, but I think it was 12 venues.
Okay,
and then at stage 2, 4 venues each with about 100 at as well. So there was, like, overall there's a few thousand golfers playing. Yeah.
Oh, well, that was fantastic to come through all those different stages.
Yeah, to finish 29th out of all that. Yeah, isn't too bad, is it?
Absolutely. Yeah, you must be absolutely delighted. Well done, mate.
Yeah, buzzing still, yeah.
So, looking at, we've just had a little chat about the shiny, brilliant experiences.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not always like that. I mean, how did you get into golf in the first place? What was the start of your journey?
We were kids. My dad was captain of Rowney Golf Club in 1997 when I was 5 years old, and then later president for I think 5 years on the spin he did. But so he was always involved up there. So my brothers and I would go up to junior coaching and play together, which was really good because without my brothers we wouldn't have had the competitiveness, we wouldn't have had the kind of string each other along, really, when, you know, the days weren't great weather-wise, but summer holidays, Mum would drop us up at 9 in the morning and pick us up later on, you know what I mean, we play two, sometimes 3 times in a day, set up a tab for Dad to clear up later on when he was up having a pint, and yeah, so that's where it all started. My mum took us to junior coaching when my dad would go up as well. Yeah, great, just family experience really. Yeah, very
excellent. Lovely. So who would be taking you those junior coaching sessions?
Who would take them?
Yeah.
There was a few different. There was a guy called Neville Weston. He wasn't necessarily a professional coach, but there was. He was the sort of administrator. He pulled it all together, and then Kevin Parry, Andy Patterson. Andrew Dyson used to be at Mount Murray, and Alan Lang. So we used to, because once we got better, we'd get involved in the Ireland team stuff, and you'd visit the different coaches, sort of thing. So it was. It was great, really good.
So there's some real good people influencing you from quite an early age?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah. I mean, a lot of it was sort of not overly intense coaching, more about trying to enjoy playing the game. Yeah. And then, as I say, we had my 2 brothers. There was another whole group of lads around the same age who would play at the same time. So there'd be sort of 10, 12 of us who kind of dragged each other along, and that was the main thing, getting out playing, learning how to score, and then for myself personally, I come to the technical side at a bit of a later stage really, which I had my struggles with at first, but now I'm starting to get a good understanding of it, and I think that's showing in my golf really.
And what is it that you love about the game? What's sort of kept you going? Obviously you talked about the friendships there as well.
The social side of golf is fantastic. So I mean, there's the social element of it, but also, getting all right at it, getting pretty good at it, and like beating people really, and as most sort of athletes would say, that it's just great fun, and the feeling of a well-struck golf shot is is brilliant.
Excellent. Seeing your handicap coming down and seeing yourself progressing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we once we got better than my old man, he actually quit playing because he wasn't too happy with that. But yeah, so it was quite good. We strung each other along, but then both my brothers actually stopped playing for a period of time, and I kept chundering along. I was in the men's island team at this stage, so there was like Darryl Callister was going off island competing. Tom Harris was similar age to me, and he was getting in England A squad at that point. It was really good. There was a whole new group of guys who you've met through the gym who again, the social side, they're such a good team to be part of. Yeah. And we'd go away competing. Darryl actually made me come away a couple times, and I'm doing all right here. I'm not as, you'd think sort of maybe in a like big fish little pond sort of thing over here, but once we got over there and I found out, actually, I'm not doing too bad, must be all right. And then that's where it kind of, I decided, well, actually, maybe I could have a go at this.
Right, so that's where I first came across you, I think, wasn't it, Tom, in that Isle of Man squad coming in to do the gym sessions.
Exactly, yeah.
And there's probably about 10 of you guys coming in quite regularly. You could see that camaraderie between you all in the gym environment as well. It really came across. Big group of mates who all got on, but you all pushed each other to do well.
Which is great, isn't it? Yeah, I mean that's what made it so fun to keep going every time, because it was a good laugh, good crack with the lads. Yeah. Go from there.
So are there any key people from that sort of group that sort of, you mentioned Darryl, are there any other people that sort of had an influence on you in terms of getting the best out of you as a player? Yeah,
Jeff Skillicorn was the captain at that time as well, or maybe not at that stage, at a slightly later stage, but Jeff was massive in terms of, well, he still says to me every day, he texts me saying, patience, Tom, patience, but great. So Jeff's been fantastic for me. He's helped with, he brought Jim Payne over for coaching, who I saw for lessons for a while, and he brought several good speakers over who, I'd sit there and write a load of notes, learn a load, go away, and and Jeff himself's great to sort of run ideas by, and quite a tidy golfer in his time as well, Jeff. Nearly beat me in Scratch League a few years ago, but I pipped him at the post at the end. But so he was really good. Darryl, like I say, dragging me along, and just a load of wise heads in there, like Kev Moore, Mark Sutton, guys run ideas by. Even Paul Lowry's played to a really good standard, and to, speak to or play with these guys, and learnt a lot, really.
Yeah, that's it. You'll learn something different from each and every one of them, I expect.
Yeah, totally.
Adding all of those different little nuggets into your toolbox.
Well, exactly.
To help you be a better golfer.
100%. Yeah. I mean, John Cork was another one. Captain St Andrews Uni and played to a really high standard. So, to be able to like play on a Saturday with these guys and then to come to the gym on a Tuesday and then we go away as a team, great. So
what was the next step after the Isle of Man squads for you in terms of your development?
Yeah, well, up until, what was I? I'd studied at the business school here, actually got a degree in business management, finished that at age 21. And at that point, Darryl was still, he would work over winters and then the Isle of Man Bank would let him have the summers off and he was competing. And I went with him after I finished my degree to quite a few tournaments that summer of 2013 and Tom Harris was playing a lot. And my mum financially supported me for that, which was massive. So I played a bit. I was like, I had some really good results and was like, well, why don't I ever go next year? So I worked that winter and saved up and then played my first, I guess, full amateur season in 2014, at the end of which England approached me and selected me for a national squad, which was a big achievement for me. I didn't see it as necessarily. I was just playing golf, if you know what I mean. And then I spent 3 years in squads with them, working over winters and competing through the summer. So those are 3 years of learning. Not necessarily the best playing experience for me, but I learned a lot of which I still use today, to be fair. But I've come out the other side a better golfer for it.
So what were your key take-homes from that England experience?
I found that I needed to, about myself more than anything. Like, there was a lot of technical advice thrown around. There was a lot of sort of, you need to do this, you work on it. And it was almost like we'd have a lesson on putting, a lesson on short game, a lesson on long game, stand there for 5 hours in the morning, and then in the afternoon go out and compete against each other. And my head was like, well, I need to do all that, but I need to go play. I can't play because I'm trying this. And you know what I mean? So I spent those 3 years sort of on the golf course like that through the year, because the coaches would come to the tournaments and I'd be trying to pick their brains because it wasn't quite working, but really I was digging a deeper hole. But some of the stuff, some of the drills, some of how to practice, I've become so much better at things like that from my time with England, so I'm really grateful for that. Really got a load of good contacts, load of good guys, so it's been a good experience, that.
Yeah, it's more than just the technical and tactical stuff that you can learn, isn't it, as you well know. There's a lot of other things that impact on performance. So it might be good to touch on that. So aside from learning how to strike a golf ball, what else has helped you become a better golfer?
Well, what we do in the gym, all the strength and conditioning side, the flexibility, feeling better within myself. I work with Sean as well, the psychologist through the Isle of Man sport. She's been great, help, because golf's a 5.5 hour round and you can't concentrate for that long, but trying to help me talk to myself better and make sure I'm not hitting shots in the wrong frame of mind, stuff like that. Diet, although it doesn't look like it at the moment, my knowledge is a lot better. I've still yet to find the way to be able to do it while I'm on the road as well as I'd like, but with now making progressive steps, moving to Challenge Tour, that should become a bit easier. So there's a whole host of off golf course that influences what you do on the golf course, and you've got to acknowledge all those sides as well. You can't just, even though when we were kids we just learned to play, but I think that's maybe why now I've added all the other bits in, or I'm improving on those bits. That's the playing side's maybe getting a bit better as well. Yeah. Because there's so much more you can do.
What impressed me as well is you came up as a guest to the Sport Aid Academy one time, didn't you, to help work with some of the young athletes who are starting their sort of first few steps in their journey to becoming perhaps an athlete like yourself. And I noticed, looked over, you were there, sat down, and you were taking loads and loads of notes on the workshop that was taking place for these young athletes. So it's great to see that no matter what level of player you may be or level of standard that you might compete at, there's always something. There's always a little nugget or something that you can learn from different scenarios.
That's what I'd say. Yeah, I mean, every day's a school day, as they say, and if I'm sat there, why not be trying to listen in and develop really myself? Because there's always ways you can improve, and you never know when that nugget might come out, that bit of information, and yeah, it was good. It was good to be involved in things like that. The academy, it's great to see now how much bigger Ironman sport is than maybe when I come in, it was however many years ago it was.
Yeah.
But it's really good. There's a great pathway now for those kids to get involved in those other, like the strength and conditioning, like all the nutrition, managing nerves. I think you do classes on that at those academies and stuff like that. It's great that they can get that information and get to play their sport at a younger age than maybe what I did. So yeah, brilliant.
Super. So it can't be cheap getting away as often as you have either to do these tournaments.
Yeah.
And, you have to finish quite high if you're going to get some good prize money. So, I mean, how do you finance it all?
It's tricky. I mean, especially this year, I've been playing on the Europro Tour, which is all UK. So I've been very lucky that the Steam Packet Company are a sponsor, and they let me travel back and too, and that's meant that I don't have, whilst I have a bit of extra travel time, I don't have the extra financial pressure of living on an island, if you know what I mean. So that's been great, but I'm very thankful to a lot of good sponsors. If you don't mind me plugging a few names,
get them in, mate. Absolutely. Because without sponsors,
I wouldn't be able to do it.
It's very difficult.
Yeah, but I've got Van in Sports, who's my Graham, my manager. He's helped set up a load of relationships. He's got a load of good contacts. So, and then Ironman Sport being massive for me. Tower Insurance do their scholarship through Ironman Sport, which I benefit from, which is great. I've got Bespoke. John Reynolds at Bespoke Vehicle Sales, he helped me out in a real time of need when my car blew up this year, and helped me with a vehicle. So you might see me driving around with my name on the side of the car. And then a load of guys who've helped me out for individual tournaments financially. So Oak Group, Visit IOM, Sugarloaf Cafe, Scotty Dog Golf, and then my good friend Anthony Collis, Flooring, whose son Archie is at the Sport Aid Academy, and loving that. And then his brother-in-law Jed at Blue Tin Produce in the UK, they hosted me for a tournament and helped me out with some costs there, so that was really cool. And that happened to be the tournament where my car blew up, so they had to run around a lot. But I'm extremely lucky, very lucky, and I'm very grateful to have that support, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to do it really. Like
you say, building contacts and relationships is a key part of life, isn't it? And building a support network around you of people who can help you achieve your goals is crucial. No, absolutely. You get plug away with the sponsors for sure. Are you open to? Have you got enough sponsors? Or are you always looking for more?
I mean, I don't know how this is going to come across, but the cost, next year Challenge Tour, it's more global than the UK. So there's plenty, and there's openings to try and create some partnerships and see what we, if there's a way somebody can help us and we can help them, then.
If you're looking to contact Tom, what's the best way to get hold of you?
I'm on all social media. My manager Graham Graham at vaninsports.com is his email. So that'd be really good. I'm very fortunate to have some great guys help me out, and even some people who don't necessarily financially support, some who do and want to remain anonymous. And I'm lucky to come from an island and a community that really wants to help.
That's good, and as I say, a lot of people think our size is a weakness, but I think the Ironman's smallness is a strength. Because you do have that real sort of community feel, and people do want to come and help, and 100%. And you're not just some anonymous name, you're a guy that people will see walking down the street.
Exactly. Exactly. And I mean, the island as a whole, on a sporting wise, when they come to the Sports Awards dinner, and you'll see that it's not small, is it? The success of island athletes is unbelievable. Every time at that Ironman Sports Awards, you kind of go away from it like, I did not know we competed on that level, on that scale. Really, it's fantastic.
That's really motivational, isn't it? As well. It's great to see lots of the people out there rocking it.
Absolutely.
In different sports,
flying the flag.
So, I mean, what's the future hold for you at the minute, Tom? What's the sort of the next steps?
I do know that it's going to evolve. For me, next year I have full status on Challenge Tour. That traditionally starts April through to sort of finish. Their tour championship was last 2 weeks ago. I do have a category on the main tour, the European tour, and a friend of mine did exactly what I did, missed by one shot at final stage, and he, a few years ago, and he got sort of 10 to 12 starts. So if I could get anywhere around that, playing on the big boy tour, then that would be great. So that's immediate. That's what next year looks like. When that all starts, where I'm off to, I don't know yet.
Yeah.
The Challenge Tour schedule's not out, and the European Tour ones are kind of, I'll enter and it'll be, if it's a weaker field probably, or a bigger field, I'll get in. So I don't know. We'll see.
So there's a lot of planning afoot.
Yeah.
And waiting for dates to come out and
exactly.
things like that.
Well, what the good thing is, once those dates do come out, the Challenge Tour ones, I'll be able to sort of sit down and go, right, I'm going to play this, and book it. Because, like I say, it is further, it's all over. They go to Kenya, they go South Africa, they go all over the place. So we'll see. But hopefully that would help me with cost a little bit as well, being able to do that. So
for sure. So who are you working with this year in terms of coaching support for your golf?
Yeah, I'm with Charlie Simpson down at Castertown Golf Links. So that was a new relationship for me. We started in mid-April, late May, and then early May, and then I think within 2 weeks I went away and I won. Picked my first pro win, so straight away I was like, well, something's going right here, isn't it? So I talk to Charlie daily, really, send him videos, whinge about that I'm doing this wrong, and he's like, you're not, but that's the way I seem to work. Pivotally in my season I was playing poor, and then I got in touch with a friend who's now doing the coaching side, and he's sort of in putting is his sort of expertise. So I went and visited him. I was playing a tournament nearby, so I went and visited him for a putting lesson and transformed my putting in that one lesson basically. And I missed the cut that week, but the week from then on it's been top 10 every week until I finished, but to get to where I did this last week. So that's been a big change. So that's Graham Roberts. He's called at Eton Golf Club. So he's been a big help. And then the Ironman sports stuff. So like yourself, we do the strength and conditioning, or did over winter. I haven't done enough of it recently. Sean for psychology, Hannah the dietitian. She's been great. So very fortunate to have a nice big team around me. Really.
That's a lot. It takes a lot of people, doesn't it? There's more to it than just going out there and hitting balls.
Exactly. Yeah, and that doesn't include the support of my family, my girlfriend, friends, and everybody on the island. You have to have
a very understanding girlfriend when you're going away for as many.
I'm very lucky.
As many weekends and weeks that you have been.
Yeah, well, in particular, this last time I was due to come home for a couple of days, and then that tournament got delayed, and I couldn't get home, and I thought, oh no, poor. It ended up being pretty much a month, and I didn't really want to do that to Charlotte, but no, she's good.
That's good. That was great, fantastic support from family and friends like that, and look at the results you've got for when you've got people backing you, the way they have.
Yeah, fantastic, really.
And we've got we did get some questions from our website, a couple of them, so I'm going to throw some at you.
Okay.
And I think that this first one's probably the most important. Some guy called Patrick Gandy. Wanted to know who your favourite sibling is.
Yeah, well, I've got 4 siblings. One of them's not now. They're all the same. I've got 2 brothers. Patrick is one of them. I think he's a bit jealous that my big brother Jay has been coming caddying a few times.
Okay.
So I think that's where that could be coming from. I think he's a bit upset about that. But and my 2 sisters, Abby and Alice, we're all good. We're a great family. So hard to answer that one really. I better hadn't.
Well, if golf doesn't work it out for you, I'm sure a career in politics will be.
You're
going to sit on a fence like that. Yeah. I don't blame you one little bit.
I don't know how I meant to answer that.
Well, I'm sure that's something you can talk about at home over there.
Yeah, say it over Christmas with a beer.
Bless him. Our next question was from Matty Wilshaw. I don't know if you know who Matty Wilshaw is.
Yeah.
He asked, if there was one club that you could have in your bag, and only one club, what would it be?
Not golf club.
Golf club.
You thought I thought Brownie golf club.
Yeah.
No. Which actual golf club? Oof. Tough question. No, I don't know. You want to? Well, I need them all. I need all 14. Yeah. No.
Which is your go-to club? I suppose when you're out on the greens.
Yeah.
On the fairways.
I'd say my best club or my favourite club or one that I seem to attach a load of good shots to, I am pretty happy with my driver. I hit it good, off the tee I'm very good. I would say hit it miles, but I don't particularly. I just very straight, very accurate. So we'll just go with driver. Yeah.
Very good. Like you say, it must be a very hard question to ask because it depends, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The different tools for different purposes.
Oh, exactly.
Aren't they?
So, 100%.
It's being able to find yourself in a situation and decide which is the right tool for the job.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, Leslie Slight, our fantastic archer who comes in and trains here as well at the Sport Institute. She had a question for you, or a couple of questions really. Firstly, how do you stay calm? Well, because obviously there's a lot of pressure in your game, similarly to Leslie's. There's a lot of concentration in archery that's required.
Yeah, it's kind of, there are a lot of crossovers, I'd probably say, with archery and golf. But staying calm, I mean, I work with, like I say, with Sean through the psychology side of online sport, and we look at breathing, we look at self-talk, you kind of right down to your body language, but staying calm these last few weeks, my brother Jay caddied, and to me it's so important to switch off, even, and I mean on the golf course, sort of between shots. So as I do him his one job as caddy, I don't want to work out numbers, I'm happy doing all that, do everything, just make us laugh, just let's have a laugh, walk along. And we actually picked up a few spectators who said, oh, we wanted to watch you because you look like you're having such fun out there, you boys. So because we just hit the shot, and it's a high pressure environment. There's guys who, especially the last one, who are technically playing for their playing rights to earn their living and stuff. And I mean, I'm the same, but I want to approach it in that I'm no good when I'm all pent up and angry and tetchy. So I just said to Jay, just let's keep the mood chilled. If we're playing with somebody who's a bit pent up and we just won't talk to, you know what I mean? We'll talk to them afterwards, but for me, the right things to be in the right frame of mind, and that is sort of playing with a smile on the face. So
good, That's like we say to the kids in sports schemes. You always play better when you're smiling.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's true. I absolutely think it's true. Yeah.
Excellent. Leslie also went on to say, so when you practice, what do you work on? So how long do you spend on each different segments of your practice? Because I imagine there's lots of different elements. Yeah,
there is. Yeah, I mean, whether I work on long game, I get long game pitching, short game putting, like your four kind of main areas. Within each of those, I try and break my practice sessions into a technical session, or a session would contain a technical element. It would then contain like a general practice element, and then I would look to throw in some scoring or competing. Quite often against myself, I'll keep track of scores and things like that. So there's various games. Again, a lot of the stuff I learned from my time with England Golf, really different ways of scoring your practice, so that you go there tomorrow and you try and beat today. So yeah, it depends. Like I've been going through a lot of technical change this year with Charlie, but we're getting closer to where we want to be. There's still stuff to work on, which is great, because you never want to feel like you're comfy and stop, do you? You need to keep trying to get better. So it kind of goes a little bit like that, really. But I like to get out on the golf course as much as I can, rather than just stand there beating balls and practicing, because ultimately it's on the golf course where you actually need to see the shot, or perform, really. So there's no point standing on a range hitting all these balls. Oh yeah, it's great. No idea what it looks like when you go on the golf course. So I like to get out there and put it to the test.
And play. Because that gives you the real context, doesn't it?
Well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, even down to my practice rounds. You normally, I was playing this year, and you play Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, your comp days. On the Tuesday, I don't like to do. I sort of like to do practice session, golf course, knock it on the head for the day and get ready, rather than a lot of guys like to get out early. I've done my practice round, now I'm going to go work on stuff, and I'm like, well, if I work on stuff after I've played, the only time I'm then going to see what it looks like on the golf course is under the gun of in competitive golf. So I like to do it the other way and make sure I feel pretty happy, or try and feel as happy as I can with my game, and go out and see it on the course. So maybe I'm just weird. I don't know.
No, as I say, it's about everyone's different and finding what works for you.
Yeah.
And if that helps you, then it's the right way to do it. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
It's like anything. There's always more than one way to skin a cat, isn't there?
Yeah. You're right.
Not that indoor skinning cats, by the
No.
way. I've got a question for you as well, Tom.
Okay.
So, what would you say is your super strength as a golfer? What makes you stand out? What is it that sort of makes you a better player?
I don't know. I mean, tough one to kind of nail down a specific, because I don't. I got into trying to keep stats and I struggled. I wasn't playing very well, so completing the stats, I'd then look at the stats and be horrified and think I was worse than I was. Do you know what I mean? If ultimately the main stat that matters is your score. But so I kind of don't necessarily analyse stats and say, well, so and so does this at putting, but I do this, so I'm better than him. But I would just say I'm very accurate off the tee. I'm straight. I hit a lot of fairways, hit a lot of greens, but what has really come along in the last year is what I would probably call my defence. When if I am out of position, if I am off the green, my scrambling, my short game, my putting has come on, no end, and that's how I can sort of feel I can put a score together, even if I'm not quite like this. Last week, the 6th round tour final stage tour school I didn't play great. I had one good day, and the other days I kind of never felt great. So a lot of it was a bit of a battle. A lot of it was relying on good short game, and I did it and kept putting scores in, which kept ticking me along and moving up the leaderboard. So without those skills, I wouldn't be able to compete really. But that and my attitude, I think, my attitude of enjoying it. I like working hard. I love the game. So those parts, I guess.
Well, attitude goes a long way, isn't it? And I think if you could have a super strength that would influence all other aspects of your game, attitude's probably got to be it, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So, having a good drive, and if that's your super strength, then brilliant, but it impacts then, how much does that then impact on other areas of your game?
Yeah.
Maybe the following shot and so on, but attitude impacts everything you do, every shot, your preparation,
exactly,
your training outside of the course, your programming and planning, everything. So
exactly, with the right kind of attitude and mood, I guess. Some days I turn up and you haven't had a great sleep or whatever, and you're not quite in the mood, and I can see it in my golf that like my patience isn't there. Yeah. Maybe I haven't read Jeff's text to say patience time. But I think attitude overall is if you could put great attitude in, like we've spoke before about a lot of younger athletes, might have these great results, but the guy who's got the attitude, who works hard, keeps building, wants to get better, he might not have the results then, but it's not necessarily about. So it's about the results at the right time, or however you want to go in whatever sport you choose to play, at whatever standard. But if you've got the right attitude, you'll be successful.
Absolutely. No, I think we'll start to close things up there. Thanks for answering those questions there, Tom. Are there any questions you've got for me before we sign off?
When can we get back in the chat? No, just thanks for having me. Really enjoyed it. It's always good to chat and good to see you, because I haven't seen a lot of you over the summer. But
absolutely, it's been a busy summer for you, hasn't it?
Yeah. But no, good to be back in. Good to see you.
Excellent. Well, we really appreciate you coming in and giving us some of your time to do the podcast, Tom.
No problem.
I'm sure we'll get lots of people listening to it, and there's been some great nuggets of information in there that people can take away for themselves, for their own sports, and hopefully it's given a bit of a picture of you, what you're about, and get more people behind you going into the Challenge Tour next season.
Yeah, hopefully so. Yeah, and if anybody does listen to it or have any questions, whatever, just drop us a message. I can help out, or if I can, I'll try.
Yeah. So what's your Twitter? What do you want on us Twitter?
I don't know that. Instagram Tom.Gandy, Twitter TomGandy92.
TomGandy92, fantastic.
Yeah. So if anybody has any questions or anything like that, I'll do my best. Yeah.
And what we'll have to figure out what the Challenge Tour is on Twitter, so people can follow that as well.
Yeah. I'll no doubt I'll tag some.
I'll stick some notes on the credits, so people can get that as well, so they can follow you next year. And all the best for the Challenge Tour.
Thank you.
You know, I hope it goes well. Get out there and smash it, and it'll be great to see you there flying the flag. The Isle of Man, tall and proud.
Yeah, get that Isle of Man flag up there. Yeah, that'll be good.
Excellent.
Thanks, mate.
No, thank you. And folks, that's episode 8 all concluded. So this will be heading out early in December. So it'll be a nice little Christmas treat for you all to listen to Tom. I hope you all have a fantastic Christmas. We'll look forward to reconnecting with you all in January in the new year for our first guest of 2020, who is to be confirmed. So watch this space. Get yourselves following the Isle of Man Sport Facebook page, and we'll put lots of announcements out there, and we'll put the announcements out when the podcast is released as well for January. Folks, if you've got any questions for me, you can catch me on Twitter as well at TrevChristian, or you can give us an email at trevor.christian@gov.im. Thanks very much, folks, and see you all later.